I'm sorry, guys. The line fell off when I was filming it. But yeah, once I saw I used every other color, every single color in this palette, I couldn't complain as much. No, it's not as exciting as the other palettes that I own. No, it doesn't give me much thrill when I'm creating looks, but it is a very functional palette and it's an easy go-to on a day-to-day basis, and that's really where all the use came from. Another palette, an oldie but goodie of mine that I sort of dug back into this year is the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This is one of those palettes where I think, like, you know, when I'm not using it, I'm not pressed about it, but once I start using it, I'm like, wow, I really, really, really like this palette. I use Spread the Love a lot. I love that as an all-over setting shade for my eyeshadow look. Even with the glitter, I like it as a setting shade. I use Bananas a lot, and I try Extra Creamy. It's like a pure white. I don't know what's up with that, but you know, I like Spread the Love better than Extra Creamy as a setting shade. And I use Peanut Butter a lot, and Peanut Butter Cup a lot, and Peanut Brittle. And I use Jelly a lot to line my inner eye, like my inner eye line on the bottom lid. I love Jelly for that. It just makes my brown eyes pop. And I don't get much use out of Jamming and Nuts About You, not for any particular reason, just because they're so deep, you know what I mean? And I'm more of a neutral person. I sort of go for the other shades more. But I love this palette, and I don't use it as much as the other ones, but when I do use it, it's like, wow, I really love this palette. You know, so I did dig in and get some more use out of this year. Okay. So, other oldie but goodies. The Naked palette. I purchased these palettes back in 2015. And I purchased the Naked 3 first. And then I purchased the Naked. I used the Naked more this year. This is it here. I got a lot of good use out of this palette this year. I wasn't really crazy about the palette. But then I realized it is a functionable, nice palette. I was thrown off by Sidecar and Sin and all the glitter. And I didn't think that the mattes, like, really, you know, I didn't care for them too much, like the colors of the mattes being the only two mattes in there. And I really only used Toasted and Smog. I didn't care for Half Baked because it's too much of a bright ashy gold with my complexion. But you know, I gave it a chance, and I can say that I really appreciate the entire palette. I really do. I gave it a chance. I started using a lot of the other shades. I actually don't mind Naked and Buck now. I like them. I even like Sidecar and Sin. I haven't gotten to use them as much, but when I have, you know, I found out how to use them and, you know, not have glitter all over the place. And Half Baked I use a lot as a highlight on my skin. When, you know, when I'm on the go and I need to do my eye look, I use Half Baked as a highlight. And I'll use Creep in my eyebrows sometimes. You can't see the glitter, you know. I just try to find ways basically to use the colors so I can try to use the palette up. Creep a lot of the times in Gunmetal I use as eyeliners. That's mainly what I use them for. But yeah, as you can see, I got some good use out of that palette this year. And this is towards the later end of the year, September forward. And towards the end of the year in December, I opened up another oldie but goodie. Their first high-end palette I ever purchased, the Naked 3. And again, this is a palette I kind of felt like the Naked about, but once you give it a chance to start using the colors, you know, it really is a nice palette. You know, a lot of times people fall into the hype. Maybe I did a little bit with negative reviews about the palette, but when I started using it on a daily basis and giving it a chance and opening up my options and using other colors, not just the colors that I'm drawn to, I really do appreciate this palette, and I'm glad I have it in my collection. So guys, that's all the palettes that I used this year. With obviously here and there I would dip into some of the other palettes I have. So all these palettes mentioned are palettes that I use for at least 3 weeks or more. You know, so if it's a palette I use like one day here and then 2 months later, one day there, I didn't mention those. But these are the ones that I use consistently throughout the year. So let me know what you think, and if you have any options on hitting pan, let me know, because I'm starting to feel a little bit of anxiety. Like, I need to use my palettes because I have so many, and I do have a lot of videos coming up. So stay tuned and please subscribe to be a part of all the hauls and new palettes. It's so much new stuff I have that I haven't made videos on yet. So I'm going to be doing videos for that coming up soon. Bye.